Today, on Be Something Wonderful, forget trying to think and feel more positive thoughts and do this instead. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning here from the studios of Be Something Wonderful here in Las Vegas. Big video today. I want to talk about, this is a very specific client that when we talked a few months ago, it was regarding a specific person. What's unique about her is that she is a manifesting coach, really powerful, and teaches others how to manifest and shift realities, right? And the whole discussion was, Tom, I teach others how to do this, but I can't manifest my own success story. So we're going to talk about this. She's now back with her SP. There's a little cool imaginal scene that we talked about, but we're going to talk about all of these ideas and more. So here's how it started. I teach others how to manifest SPs, their SPs, specific persons, right, and shift realities, but I can't manifest my own success story. But as we talked in our sessions together, that remember, I said, really, are you teaching them how to manifest? Are you really teaching them how to shift? Are you teaching them how to think positive or how to feel better? You're not teaching any of that. What are you really doing? You're not really teaching them anything. They're always shifting. They're always manifesting, right? They're always thinking and feeling something, right? So it's not really about that. What in every case, right? And I talked and I said, and what about the clients that haven't manifested their SPs with you? What's the difference? What's the difference between the ones that are sharing their success stories with you and the ones that aren't? And in all cases, the ones that are quote manifesting or experiencing or living their realities are aware of already being that person for whom and through whom that reality is real. In other words, it's real to them. They put their awareness in already being that person. Do you see? That's what she's doing. That's what any teacher does or coach. They just point your awareness to who you really are. That you're already that person you want to be. They don't really have to learn any of that stuff. It's already there. It's about being more aware of who you really are. Being aware and conscious of already being that person you desire to be. No exceptions. And she's definitely doing that with those clients. But what's the difference? Because she's talking about the same things. What about the ones that didn't? It's those of the ones that are not aware of already being the person they want to be, not aware of already being that relationship. That's the difference, and that applies to her. She really got her own aha moment while we were talking. I said to her, you haven't been. You're telling the story that everybody else is. Everybody else is in their relationships and manifesting what they want, but I am not. In other words, everybody else is the person they want to be, but I am not yet. And I teach this stuff. I said, that's your story. She goes, it is. That's her story. That's what she's telling. That's why she couldn't move to that reality, right? And so it was months, she said, of no contact with her SP. Then he reached out to return some books and other things that were hers. And then they got together, they had coffee, then later that week they went out and they're back together. But what changed? What changed was her awareness. Putting her awareness and already being in that relationship, no longer telling the story that everybody else has what they want, but I don't, and I teach this stuff. That I teach this stuff, I coach, and I am that person I want to be. I'm the master of my reality. Her awareness, putting her awareness on what she wanted. And we even had a little discussion about her imaginal scene. And I said, well, let's switch this up a little bit because you're trying to think. She was trying to really think and feel good about that. They had a fight, a big fight that led to them not speaking, right? No contact for a while. And she was really trying to think and feel better about it, right? This is what we all do, even as gurus and coaches that we all are, as massive and amazing creators of our own reality we are. We do get into that trap of believing it's about that. And I said, well, what would really bug you about him, right? Think of something that really almost gets you angry, right? And he goes, well, she goes, well, I never liked that he always rushed me. He's always in a rush. He rushes me to get ready, to finish. We're at a restaurant to finish my meal, and that really gets to me. I go, then imagine that. Make that your imaginal scene, because that implies you're back together. That wasn't the thing that led to their breakup, right? So this was just something that really bugged her about her SP. She imagined that, right? With the awareness now that she's no longer telling that old story. That everybody else is and I am not, and I teach this stuff. She just stopped telling that story, moved to the story that, wait a minute, I'm the master of my reality. We are together, and then that little scene. That's powerful. So they're now together, and I want to talk about this whole idea that we had discussed. It's not, remember, what do we really mean by positive thinking and feeling? It's not about positive thinking. It's not even about positive feelings. It's about positive being the person you desire to be. That's what we're talking about. The feelings and thoughts and feelings are always changing, but who you are never changes. It's to be more aware of your true nature as I am, or in other words, the story of being that identity that you desire to be. That's how you're more aware of your true nature. When you imagine your ideal already being that person you desire to be. As source of thoughts and feelings and conditions, not the effect. Right? We treat ourselves as effects of those conditions, but we are source of them. Be source. Allow them to be there. Allow the changing thoughts and feelings to be there. That's what positivity is really about. It's the degree that you're positive, really, to move up. What spiritual teachers talk about vibration and all that, but we're really talking about identity, who you really are. But to move up on any scale of consciousness or in vibration or all that's talked about, it's really about positive being. And what does that mean? Being more aware of who you really are. To the degree that you aspire to and are more aware of your true nature, that's the degree that you rise in positivity, or you're more positive. Do you see it? So it's not really, any identity can have changing thoughts and feelings. But you're not identifying as those. You're identifying as the source energy of who you are. Your changing thoughts and feelings in those outer conditions are effects of your level of self-awareness. Do you see it? Everything has consciousness. Everything is conscious, but not everything is self-aware. Do you see it? So it's your degree of awareness. That's our gift, right? Where the first manifestation of that is this, or that great I am of God, is the I am awareness. To be aware of yourself as consciousness, as awareness. That's what makes you different. You have the free will to choose. So the degree that you're more aware of who you really are, that identity, that I am identity, the Son of God, right? That can be, do, or have anything. That's the degree that you're, quote, positive. That's positive being. Your awareness of being never changes. Only your degree of awareness of it. Do you see it? Who you really are never changes. The only thing that could ever change is the degree, or vary, is the degree that you're aware of that. Right? And so remember, why I quote that show, The Chosen, a lot. They mean nothing. Those thoughts and feelings are always changing. You give them meaning. You decide it from the positive being that you are. Being more aware of who you are, who you really are. And then you decide what your relationship is to those changing thoughts, feelings, and physical conditions in the 3D world experience, right? They do nothing. You give them the meaning, right? You, as I am, are the power and authority over all of it. So let's hit it a little bit more. Why am I thinking this? Why am I feeling this? Why am I seeing this? Those are the questions that keep you focused and less aware, focused on undesirable realities, focused on identities that you don't desire to be, and less aware of your true nature. Do you see it? And that degree of awareness determines the degree at which you're, quote, positive. So it's about being, not thinking, feeling, and seeing. Do you see? It's that positive being. That's why Jesus said in The Chosen, look at me, Jesus, your I am awareness, as that at the pool of Bethesda, as he was talking about what thoughts are going on, what's he feeling, what's he seeing. And Jesus said, forget all that and look at me. In other words, be more aware of your true nature by being aware of that identity of who you desire to be, of already being that person that you desire to be, already being that which you desire to be, already having that which you desire to have. The changing inner and outer conditions don't matter because they're not source of anything. Those changing thoughts, those changing feelings, those changing conditions you see are not source of anything. They don't create or manifest anything. That's why Jesus said, it does nothing for you. It means nothing. Referring to the pool of Bethesda, right? They don't create or manifest anything. And what Jesus is saying, they're not source of anything. Look at me. I'm source. I'm reality, right? I'm that which you want to be, that I am awareness. It's your degree of awareness and identification with those changing thoughts and feelings that gives them reality. It's your degree of awareness and identification with those changing thoughts, changing feelings, and changing physical conditions that gives them reality. Or in other words, that creates your experience of ultimate reality of who you are. So the degree that you're more aware of who you really are, then the thoughts and the feelings and the conditions that align with that will be there. Do you see it? It's all about you. It's all about who, and the who is you, right? So let's hit this a little bit more. All thoughts are creative, right? Well, I'm not saying that thoughts and feelings are more important or less important. None of that. They are creative, and you are only ever feeling what you're thinking. That's true. But not all thoughts create. Only those that you identify with as your I am story. Whoa, powerful. You see it? So the more aware you are of your true nature and that which you desire to be, already being it, then you're living that life that you want to live. There are no idle thoughts, as A Course in Miracles says, right? So all thoughts are creative, but you're only ever feeling what you're thinking, but they don't all create. The ones that create are the ones that you believe are your story, right? Just like with my client, I teach everybody else, but I can't get what I want, right? And there is no other greater story than I am God and there is no other. I am that I am. That's the greatest story ever told. That's your story. Start there and then decide how you want to condition that I amness, right? A Course in Miracles says this: everything you see is the result of your thoughts. There's no more self-contradictory concept than that of idle thought. What gives rise to the perception of the whole world can hardly be called idle. So yes, there are no idle thoughts, but you're the one, and they're all creative. That's what A Course in Miracles is saying. But you give them reality. You give them by your story. You decide what that perception of your world's going to be. There's no greater thought than I am. The only pure, positive thought, being aware as awareness itself. That's the most positive that you can do. So this is powerful today. You give the thought of who you really are, gives rise to that ideal identity of you, right? And what you want to identify with now, who you want to be now. So that's powerful. Jesus, your I am awareness of being. Remember, he shocked the people around him when he declared, before Abraham was, I am. And remember, we talked about this idea of where the comma should be, whether it should be before Abraham, comma, was I am, or before Abraham was, comma, I am. None of that matters. What's the message of Jesus here? Before Abraham, I am. In other words, the first thought, the first cause, the source of your entire world experience is I am. So he shocked, remember, when he says that he shocked the people around him, he shocked the thoughts, feelings, and conditions. That's what people represent. Remember, when they refer to people in Scripture, we're going to show you this in a few minutes, they're referring to the changing 3D conditions, the thoughts, the feelings, and conditions of people. He shocked those thoughts, feelings, and conditions, those changing thoughts and feelings and conditions, by declaring before all of you, I am. In other words, I have dominion over all of it, not the changing thoughts and feelings. I don't have to try to flip thoughts and try to feel better. I am better. I am that beingness. That's the first thought. That's the first cause. That's the source of your entire world. That's why Jesus again says that I am awareness. Who do men say I, the Son of Man, am? In other words, who do people say that I, the Son of Man, which is the Son of God in expression, Son of God in expression with the changing thoughts, feelings, and conditions. Who do men or people, as it says in NASB, in that version, who do those thoughts, feelings, and conditions and changing thoughts, feelings, and world conditions say I am? Are you going to be defined by those changing thoughts, feelings, and conditions, by trying to feel better, by trying to think more positive thoughts? Are you going to allow that to define you as the Son of Man, the Son of God in expression as the Son of Man? And the apostles answer. Some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, others say Jeremiah or one of the prophets in Matthew 16:14. In other words, the apostles are saying, yeah, those changing conditions are defining you. You're allowing those changing thoughts and those changing feelings and those changing conditions to decide who you are. Or are you going to decide it? Jesus is asking, your I am awareness. Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? Is it Jeremiah? Is it Elijah? Is it one of the prophets? Is it those changing thoughts, feelings, and conditions? Is you trying to feel better and think better thoughts? Or are you allowing the changing thoughts, feelings, and conditions, who the people say I am, identify and define who you are in your experience of reality? That's what Jesus is asking. Are you allowing that? Who do you say I, the Son of Man, am? Jesus, your I am awareness is asking, but who do you, then when they answer Jeremiah, one of the prophets, John the Baptist, Jesus asks again, he presses them. This is your I am awareness asking you again, but who do you say that I am? Not the changing thoughts and feelings and conditions, or the people, or the world. Don't allow those to identify and define who you are or your experience of reality. You determine your experience of reality. But who do you? All thoughts are creative, but not all create. So you give meaning to reality, all of it. You get to decide, right? Jesus is acknowledging that, yeah, all thoughts are creative. You could say you're John the Baptist or Elijah. You can get defined by those. Or you can decide, right? And you give meaning and reality to all of it. You are always affirming the perfect idea of man in expression, regardless of the conditions. Your I amness is always perfect. How you condition it, it's up to you, but that never gets changed. You're always affirming as the Son of God in expression as the Son of Man, right? So Simon Peter answered, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. That's revealed to you with your identification with and as source of your reality. That's why Jesus said to Simon Peter, blessed are you that flesh and blood could not reveal that to you, but the Father who is in heaven. Right? The Father, or that the flesh and the changing conditions, feelings, and thoughts don't reveal that to you, but the source of who you really are reveals that to you. Your awareness of who you really are. Do you see the power here? This is powerful. So when you're trying to control, reacting to, resisting changing thoughts, feelings, and conditions, you're allowing them to tell your I am story. That's what all of that is getting at, right? That's what my client was doing, right? When you're trying to control, or you're reacting to or resisting changing thoughts and feelings and conditions, you're allowing them to tell your I am story. So it's not about trying to control with positive thoughts or positive feelings or positive conditions. There'll be plenty of those as you identify with that positive being. Positive being by being more aware of who you really are. by telling your own new story from that place of truth within I am, right? From being source, right? That's why in Scripture it says, before Abraham, I am. Before any other story, before any of those changing thoughts and feelings, I am. I am speaking. God has already answered, right? But before they call, I will answer. And while they're still speaking, I will hear. That's your I am story. Before Abraham, before they call, I will answer. God already answered, even as you're speaking. So when you're telling your story, that's God, that's I am. That's that ideal you telling that story, right? While they're still speaking, I will hear. While you're still telling your story, it will unfold from within you, your new story. You can tell any story you want. So forget trying to be more positive and feel better and do this instead. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, our TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, and our membership channel. We have another membership video coming out. We just released one a few days ago. And we have a live stream, our third live stream of the year, to be broadcast exclusively on the membership channel on March 30th, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time. I'm going to come to you live. I'm going to broadcast live right here from the studios of Be Something Wonderful. I'm going to hit some of the topics that you've been sending to me through emails at info@besomethingwonderful.com and some of your questions that you've been sending to me at info@besomethingwonderful.com. And I'll even take on some of your questions in the chat on the live stream. All this to be broadcast on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel later this month. Creators, with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful in Las Vegas. Until next time, we'll see you soon.